Hey everybody, Canadian Treasure Hunt here. Is there anybody out there that can hear me? Doing a live stream here. Hopefully it's working. Been having problems with my laptop. Been losing all my audio there because yeah, I was using my laptop there, and what happened was my laptop was overheating and was shutting down. CT Relic Digger, hey, good evening. Yeah, I'm just trying to get used to this. I got a delay here. I'm not sure if that's normal, but it's like a 10 or 10-second delay, it seems to be, but getting a little bit better. Thanks for the thumbs up on that. Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody knows how to stream better than me. I just like to get some tips. I've looked all on the videos on YouTube, and it's really difficult. So is it a 10-second delay is normal or a 5-second delay? I'm not really sure, but I see there's two people watching right now. But hey, Alex Treasure Hunter. Hey, what's up? Hey, well, I'm trying to get this live stream going here. I'm hopefully what I can do is show you a lot of finds and describe the finds and so on to you. I'll turn this audio down. So CFA streams, I'm not really sure what CFA streams means. Hey Alex here, yeah, I've watched your videos, they're pretty good lately. They're pretty impressed there. You guys find pretty cool stuff. Yeah, well, just to start here, like I just kind of been last 2 days here trying to figure this out here. It's so difficult. I'm not a computer person. I'm more hands-on. I'm a demolition kind of guy. I like breaking things, but when it comes to computers, and when I talk to my kids, they just look at me like I'm a dummy and then argue. So finally, I'm getting there, but it's taken time. Hopefully, what I plan to really do is have, like, say, if I find an awesome looking ring, I could show it here, display it, tell the people how I found it, all the up and downs leaded to finding that ring. So it should be awesome. Hopefully, it's because you'll really enjoy when I get this perfected the way I want to do it. CT Relic Digger Sub Galaxy, awesome. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty hard to get subs out here. I know there's a few guys out there that got like 500,000 subs there, and it's just really hard to get subs here. But I'm trying my best here. It takes a lot of time, but like I say, if I had better graphics and maybe better content, but digging up here in the West Coast here, we're going to go back to about maybe 1880s, 1890s, and that's pretty hard stretch. Most of my stuff is from the 20s, 30s, or 40s. Hard to get the really old stuff, if you know what I mean, guys. Yeah, like it's a lot of waiting. Yeah, of course. Like eventually, like I say, like we're traveling. Actually working on going to Punta Cana again. It's in the works, but I'm working on actually an California a trip, which that's probably going to be in the next 2 weeks. I'm hoping. I mean, it depends on my wife. She had a knee operation and kind of slowed my plans down. But if that doesn't pan out, California, definitely going to Punta Cana. So that should be awesome. Should get some good video. Hopefully find more gold. But yeah, CT Relic Digger, interesting collab video. Send me a live dig clip. Put you on my vids. Oh, awesome. Okay, I'll have to try to get some live dig together, and that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that. You also, yeah, like I say, do shout out to you guys too, right? I mean, it's awesome getting together. I think the streaming thing's just starting to take off. It's a little bit complicated, to get it set up there. It's not like Facebook. Facebook's so easy, right? This is a little more complicated. You have to make sure everything lines up and streams the right way, but it's working slowly. So I guess you guys, CT Relic Digger, whereabouts you located? What part of where are you? Anyways, generally where are you located? Yeah, I bet you probably get a lot of subs there. I haven't checked your sub rating yet, but probably doing pretty good, guys. Yeah, I'm just pretty new to this. But I've been around for 4 years doing this type of videoing, but it's just trying to get a perfected good video with good content takes a long time, right? If you guys know what I mean. I mean, we're not in the greatest location to find the old stuff. So you're in Connecticut. They're great. CT Relic Digger in Connecticut, awesome. Griswold, never heard of Griswold, but Connecticut, you got a lot of history behind you there. That means you guys are finding a lot of those colonial type coins, right? Yeah, East Coast New England just broke 200 subs. Hey, yeah, awesome, 200 subs. That's great. I know when I got my first 200, it took forever, and it just like it was impossible. Now, like I say, I got well, yeah, like okay, yeah, right, exactly. I had a conversation with my buddy about Brit. I'll tell you, if I had blonde hair and it looked like her, man, I'll probably have like 1 million subs. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. But like I say, it's entertaining to the old folks, right? Right? They seem to like it. So CT Relic Digger found an 1838 large cent last week. Awesome. That's an awesome find. I'll tell you, our large cents are between they started around 1920 to go to back to about 1858, and they missed a few dates in between, but earliest is 1920 to 1858. So we don't have that type of history. Hey Alex, so where are you located, Alex? I guess you're not out there, Alex. I was just wondering where you're located, where you're from. Yeah, I know you're Canadian, but I was just wondering. Oh, you're Antigua. Oh, yeah, yeah, right, Antigua. Now I know who you are. You get that pretty-looking girlfriend there on those videos. Awesome. Yeah, you got it made there, Antigua. I've never been to Antigua. I've been to Bahamas, and I enjoy Bahamas. I also like Dominican's been nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah. Cool. Right on. I guess if you do a little bit of research, um, yeah, it'll work for now. Yeah, what you got to do is do a little bit research on that island. I'm sure there's a lot of Spanish pirate history around there. There's got to be something around there in Antigua, right? Hey, Alex. Awesome. Thanks, Alex. You take care. All the best, and you have a good night. And thanks for coming into my chat. I'm glad it's working. I feel really good about that. I've been stressing out all last 2 3 days. And like I say, I was doing streaming on my laptop and it kept shutting off. It was overheating. Now I got my supercomputer on. I just picked up a web camera for it. It's working really great. So I'm super happy. Yeah, well, Alex, like I say, you should pick up diving because a lot of those treasures, especially when you have a real calm ocean and you dive in 6, 7, 8 feet of water or maybe 10 feet of water. I mean, that those places are probably super good. Watch the diving videos, see what they pull up. You'll be amazed. Really cool. So, you guys have any type of questions you want to ask me before I finish this chat up? Any questions or want a little bit about hunting? Like we do a lot of water hunting, especially in the ocean. What I'm going to do is later in my videos, I'm going to do is show you exactly through like drawings and clips where actual the good stuff is found. You know, coin lines and dips and all that type of stuff. Yeah, Alex, I'm located in Vancouver, British Columbia, on the west coast. Actually, we're outside of Vancouver, about maybe 30, 40 kilometers. It's called the Surrey, British Columbia. Been here for about 18 years. Born and raised in Vancouver, so that's it for me. So, how you find many gold, Alex? Oh yeah, it's awesome here. Vancouver is really nice. It's got beautiful mountains for snow. You can do snow skiing all winter basically, and still walk with a t-shirt during winter here. It's a really good climate out here. It's nice. Lots of lakes for fishing, hiking. Beautiful. If you've ever been to Vancouver, you'll probably want to live here. I have a friend from actually from Slovenia. I came here to Vancouver, loved it so much, went back home, had to move back here. It's just you just can't find a better place like this. It's an awesome place to live. Very expensive. Real estate's way incredible. I heard of Rob Ford. Yeah, poor guy died of cancer there. Yeah, he was funny. I was watching a news hour about something about they accused him of something, and then he gave a good remark back in the news hour. It's awesome. But yeah, no, I heard of him. Yeah, I was one of those. Was he a premier or mayor or something in Ontario somewhere? Is that right? Oh, really? Oh, he was your best friend. I'm sad to hear that. I thought he was a pretty cool guy. And they accused him of being this and that and stuff. But like I say, I guess he had an issue with his health for quite a while, and the poor guy, like I say, he did pass away. But yeah, he's mayor of Toronto, smoking crack. They say, yeah, but you know what? If you had cancer and maybe that drug helped him, possibly, maybe, who knows, right? But he did shortly die of cancer within 6 months of him resigning, or a year or something like that. So obviously he had a big issue with his health prior to that, right? So how do you find living in Antigua? Like, what is your normal like rent? So, like, say if you're renting a place to live, like, are you working there full time? Are you retired? What's your situation? Yeah, I watched you last time. The Mardi Gras video you had there was awesome. There, Mardi Gras would be really cool. I've never been to Mardi Gras, but I've seen it on TV. But definitely be cool. Yeah, it makes sense. Casinos, like I say, that's the money makers. Casino. I don't know if you're a dealer or what type of work at a casino you do, but yep, casinos are like pretty good. I know when I picked my timeshare up in Bahamas, it was the I forget the hotel now. They tore it down now, and the Asians brought it up and built a big resort there. But those casinos, like I say, they actually employ the people that keeps that economy going good. And it's good things and bad things about casinos. But like I say, the rich got the money to spend. They'll either spend it on something else or blow it regardless, right? I just want to show you this spinner I picked up here. I picked up the spinner here. I don't know how they use it. These kids play with these things all day long. I picked it up just for the hell of it. I don't know if you know how to use these stupid things, but funny things. I found one of these at work, and I thought it was a piece of garbage. I chucked it in the garbage, but I didn't know what the hell it was, so I figured out I might as well buy one for the hell of it. So I did. Still trying to figure out how to use it properly. LOL, right? Oh yeah, so being a manager, yeah, that's a lot of headaches, a lot of work. You gotta, I know what you mean, yeah, managing and stuff, and especially all that type of management there, especially in those high-paced job like that. There must be a lot of stress and headaches. But like I say, it pays the bills, I would say, right? It's not too bad. I mean, this is my living room I'm in right now, but eventually I'm gonna have a streaming area in my hobby room where I have a ham radio equipment. I have various other stuff, collectibles and stuff. So that'll be a little bit nicer backdrop, but this one's good for now. I'm at the main family room area right now. Everybody's kind of in bed here, so I can do my live streaming. Otherwise, trying to do live stream with the TV on and dogs barking, cats meowing. You know how it is, almost impossible. Hey, hey, thanks for that. I appreciate the comment you made on my house there. I'm gonna change the fireplace arrangements. I got my old beater computer on there. It's probably like 6 years old. I gotta get that off there and rearrange it. Try to have a okay back setting just to make it interesting. I mean, looks kind of casual, but I'm gonna somehow put a little theme behind my background so it looks kind of really cool, like Treasure's theme of something. You got any hobbies down where you are down there in Antigua? Like, what do you do besides work? Besides mail texting, right? You must have some sort of hobby, I guess. Do you? Yeah, homesick. I guess when you're in those island places, after all, like I say, living with all the luxuries. I guess you have luxuries like every other house, but I know I was in Dominican Republic and they showed how the locals lived, and basically they had bamboo type wood structures, no insulation, straw type roofs, very primitive. They did have everything they really, really needed, but it was such a basic setup that I mean, they actually did have a TV set. Believe it or not, they had a TV set. They had a oven, and they were probably the more well-off people. But the thing is, when you got the luxuries all like of electronics and TV and computers, I mean, when you go to a primitive area and don't even have internet or slow internet, it just drives you crazy. So I guess you say you do a lot of dating, huh? So I guess you got more than one Wilma, huh? Or no? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, you gotta have that strong structure. Just like the Bahamas, everything's cinder block, or some sort of concrete material. Especially you have like 120-mile-an-hour winds and hurricanes and ocean surges. I guess you gotta have a well-built building. But yeah, Antigua, you got a lot of beaches. You think there's a lot of treasure in the ocean? You think it's good advice to check it out one day, or What's your opinion? I mean, I know you're doing. Yeah, I think you had the AT Pro or something similar to that. I mean, I would look into getting maybe a good PI, a dual field PI or something to work those slopes off the ocean. You know, especially when the tide's crashing. I think there's a lot of gold that you might be missing there. Because I know when I hit like Dominican, I check for those slopes. Oh yeah, there's lots. Well, you just started hobby. Okay, I understand. Yeah, but what you gotta look for is those windy days. And you know how you have a slope, and the slope is quite long. You'll get a coin line. The coins will basically follow the slope, and it would be like parallel to slope. And if you pick up quarters and heavy materials, fishing weights, work that line and just keep working everything that comes out. If you're getting pull tabs and very light materials, you're not going to get gold, believe it or not, unless it's deeper down the cut. But if you're getting off the slope, you know, quarters, lead sinkers, and heavy material, you'll get gold for sure. Oh yeah, with all the shipwrecks and all the history in the Caribbean there, I'm sure there's a lot of history. Pick up some diving. I think diving, get yourself trained for diving, and just look for wrecks. Just get a cheap boat and do your thing. Oh yeah, musket ball is a good sign. Yeah, and that's probably what I would say 17 something musket balls. I think 1750. I would think. You know, pre 1800, I believe. And like I say, just I'll tell you the stuff I found in the treasure is unbelievable. You start working those cuts, working a slope. I mean, if oh yeah, forts. If you get the forts, like say getting the old 1760 forts, if you're allowed to. I'm not sure if it's all protected land, but the fort it might be protected, but all the surrounding areas could be really good because people travel to find the common pathways, walkways, roadways, and hunt all those roadways because that's exactly where the treasure is going to be. People walk to the fort, or went through bushes. So something that's bushland today could have been a really good walkway. So just do your investigation. Check out the old maps because I know you're in a really good location. You could find something that's just blow you away. Real Spanish treasure, right? Pirate treasure. Well, that's awesome. Treasure hunting is allowed, which is good. I know Bahamas, they opened up treasure hunting. You're allowed to treasure hunt, but like I say, you got to respect all your colonial, recognized heritage sites. Yeah, like I say, the old cart and buggy roads. Those are the ones you want to work. You got to remember, some of these roads went for miles, so there was probably rest stops. Any kind of natural clearing that may have been a clearing over a cliff, just search it heavily. You might have to get yourself a better machine. Your hobby will pay for itself. It's a matter of get yourself a really good detector. Even actually a metal detector like the AT Max that came out is supposed to be pretty good. As we're gonna pick a bunch up. Me and the treasure crew, we're gonna pick 5 or 6 machines up, and we're gonna use the Garrett's for a while. I mean, I have probably about 15 machines. I got machines that are worth $2,500, $1,500, but my really best go-to machine is the Coin Master. Believe it or not, $200 Coin Master has found more gold and treasure than my top machines. It's just it's more of the luck and researching the area and just keep swinging slow, listen for all targets, and just keep doing it. The stuff is there. Oh yeah, you know what? The machine your friends bring you. I guess I saw your video where you said that your friend's going to bring you a half piece of machine. You plan to go up to do some fort sites. So that'd be awesome. Do you know which machine he's bringing? Oh yeah, see that's really good because your machine's not good for saltwater. AT Pro is not a saltwater machine either. Even the AT Max may not even be saltwater. We don't know. You need a Garrett Infinium. You need a PI machine. You need something. Even my nabs are pretty good. I have an XScale 800 blue tube, which is really good, but they don't have the depth. The best machine for depth is going to be the dual field by far, surf dual field PI. Well, this morning, if you get that machine this morning, cool. That'd be awesome. I'll be watching your videos for sure. Definitely got that gear tied in there, so you'll get all your live videos. That'd be cool. Yeah, if you know, that'd be just awesome. Maybe I can give you some tippers on those. I've had a lot of machines. Like I say, I used to sell machines, and I always have the best equipment available. If something comes up that's really good, everybody talks about and says it's good, I'll go out there and buy it. But if it doesn't perform, I'm not going to use it. Like I can't do a review if the machine's junk. I'm not going to do a review. I'm not going to really promote something that's not good. So if you want to sponsor me and your machine sucks, well, sorry, I can't do it. Just cannot do it. You know what I mean? Especially, there's a lot of guys working for, like I've seen a lot of reviews on some of the newer mind labs and different models. And, I know some of these machines suck and people are saying, hey, they're so good, they're so good. But, well, you know what? You gotta, when you're working and doing a lot of melt testing efficiently, you want to have the best available. And like I say, you gotta have to use a machine that works in salt water. You'll be amazed. The best stuff is basically in the ocean or around the ocean. You'll be very, very happy when you get a good machine. So anybody else out there want to say hi? This is Canadian Treasure Hunter from Vancouver, west coast of Canada. Oh yeah, oh yeah, the MX Sport. Yeah, that's supposed to be a good machine. A little bit finicky for salt water. You have to adjust it, but it does work good. I actually have one of those brand new in the box here. We picked up when that came out. We picked up 3 of them, and they're good machines. They're really deep on land. You'll be very, very happy with the MX Sport. You'll be amazed how deep it goes. You'll have a signal that's clearly audible, but you'll be digging down 8-9 inches like nothing. You know. Oh yeah, Canadian store recommend, of course. Yeah, MX Sport is good. The first batches they had kind of a leaky lens cover that went over the digital readouts, and that cracked. They had a really bad epoxy and it cracked. Mine is the original one that still may crack. I don't know, but mine is still brand new in the box, not been used. But keep your eye on that machine. Careful when you put it down because it has a plastic lens cover that goes over the side of the body, and you'll see little pecks of cracks in that side, on the flange area of that plastic. Be very careful. Or if you see any like steam inside, then there's getting some moisture problems. But you should be fine. It's a good machine. You'll be very happy. I just don't know how to set up on the wet. You'll have to practice with that. Don't expect to put your sensitivity totally full. Doesn't mean you're going to receive a deeper signal. Set it to what so the machine runs stable, and then you'll be very happy. I'm not sure. Like I haven't used the machine enough. My friend uses it. It was a little finicky at first form, and then he found a good setting for it. It ran really good in the salt water. So I don't personally haven't used the machine. I still have mine in the box. But yeah, they're using it. It's working good. It's really, really good in freshwater and really good on land. Saltwater, you have to just adjust it so it's not too finicky with the sensitivity part. Otherwise, you'll get a little bit of falsing on it, right? And like I say, just keep your eye on that lens cover, on the edge of the lens cover, because the lens cover will crack if it's an original version. Yours is probably like, if it's got to be like since production a year and a half already, I would think. So it's probably repaired by now. The problem has been solved, right? So I guess you'll when are you gonna start using that machine? Are you gonna? I guess it's coming tomorrow. You're saying? Oh yeah, you. Okay. You want to use it to say surf, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Not to dive. That's fine. You don't have to dive with it, but surf is good because to be honest, you could be like submerged in the water, but I find my best rings come out of this the slope area where you have the slope is you have the high end of the dry and you have the low end of the splash zone. So the splash zone goes in between that surf area. That slope is the best. If you find a coin line on that slope, just work it. I'll tell you, that's where all my best jewelry and my best rings come out of there. I'm sure if you go deep in the water, if the water is rough, you can't really do nothing in anyways, right? But naturally, the ocean, what it does, if the rain gets lost with the current and it naturally spits it all back up to the shore and it gets deposited on a slope. If this thing is super heavy, it may be halfway down the slope. If it's a little bit lighter, maybe on top of the slope. Usually, the material that ends up being is for density of weight. The coin line might be either pennies, pull tabs, or it might be fish weights or gold rings or heavy materials. So just keep your eye out for that. But you'll be happy. You'll have a decent machine. You'll find a lot more deeper stuff. I mean, the only thing I noticed about the meter for the digital reading part, where the ID part is a little bit wonky. It's not a stable meter, but you know usually if it's a crappy item, it's not going to be a solid ID. If it's a good item like a gold ring, it's going to lock on. So the trick is if it's a really bouncy signal, it's probably trash. Even if it's in the pull tab range, if it's bouncy, it's probably junk. But if it's a solid signal and it repeats quite awfully with the same numbers, it's probably a good item. Like my buddy used that machine for about a year and a half already, and like say, he's found pretty good stuff at good depths and stuff. It's a good machine. You'll really enjoy the machine. It's just once you adjust it for salt water and know the right settings for your area, because our beaches here have a lot of black sand. Most of our beaches are not natural beaches; have been trucked in from rivers, so all that black sand is from rivers. Your sand is probably coral, natural sand, so you probably don't have a lot of black sand, I would think. I'm not sure. Do you see a lot of black sand on the tidals on your beaches there? Yeah, so if you're getting coral, that means you're probably not getting a lot of magnetic interference from the black sand. So I think you did good. You'll be very happy. It's definitely, like I say, it's a really good machine. It's one of the better ones. I had a V3i before, and I felt that it didn't have the depth that it was good. Had excellent ID meter on it. It was so good. The ID was solid, but I just couldn't get the depth that I wanted. I felt the E-Trac from my lab was a lot better for the deeper targets. Then when the MX Sport came out, my buddy went to a soccer field and he had a dime. And that dime was down about 10 inches down. It was so deep and it was a clear signal. We were watching it. We were all impressed. We didn't know how good the machine was. And when I saw that dime come out 10 inches down and it was loud and clear, I was really impressed. The MX Sport, like I say, it's got a lot of balls on there for sure. So you take it to those foresty areas where there's lots of fill and lots of plantation and all that type of leaves and all that. You're gonna find some really cool stuff. I'll be looking forward to see your videos. And like I say, we spend usually 1 day a week. And if you're spending that time 1 day a week dedicated to treasure hunting, 4 or 5 hours a day, you're gonna find some really cool stuff. So is there anybody else watching here? Anybody other comments before I shut her down? It seems the stream is working, which I'm quite happy. Lisa's working. I got some action. Anybody out there want to say hi? I guess it's kind of late here. It's right now. It's 1:10 a.m. Well, how? I guess the humidity is high where you are, but what is the actual heat? I guess you're a middle late anyways. You're probably what about maybe like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Oh, 4:10. Okay, so you're 3 hours ahead of us. So what is your daytime temperature like? What's going to I guess you must be in Celsius, what, 32, 35 in the daytime with high humidity? Oh, so it's your summer. Well, it's our summer or end of our summer basically. Right now, I just noticed that our weather changed in the last 3 days. It was over 30 Celsius. Now it's more like 20, 22, 23 daytime. We had a fan for the last 3 weeks. We had a fan going steady everywhere in the hallway, in every room, just to cool my cats down and my dogs. And I had air conditioner in my bedroom running. And now it's like, you put a fan on in a family room here, and I'm freezing. I got to chill. It's really weird how just the last few days it just went from super hot to just regular temperature, nothing special. So 76 degrees in the winter. Well, hey, that's not bad. We had really bad winter here this time. First time in about 8 years we had at least 5, 6 weeks of bad weather, cold, frost, ice, snow. I didn't, they did a good job in plowing, but this time they couldn't keep up. It was unbelievable. There was ice like that was a foot thick of ice everywhere, and that's not normal for Vancouver. Usually it's really mild, but we had a really bad winter. Now they're predicting another bad winter again. Farmer's Almanac. It's supposed to be really bad stormy weather again. So we'll see what happens. Got to go to the Caribbean again. Like I say, Punta Cana. I'm looking to go there again. Have you seen that my last video I did? Um, yeah, like I say, it's not normal. We actually were colder than Ontario weather. We had worst weather. It was like going down to like -12, -15, and it was just like I didn't go to work. I'm not driving this crap. I said forget it. I'm staying home. And it was just like I could, how Vancouver is. If you've been to Vancouver, when cars are parked either side of the road on the west side, I mean, you're lucky to get one vehicle behind. Imagine ice on the road, in hills and snow. It was impossible. Oh yeah, Timmy's, like I say, Timmy's is everywhere. To be honest, Timmy's is every corner. I went to Ontario on a road trip about 5 years ago, and every town had two or three Timmy's. I couldn't believe it. Timmy's is like everywhere. It's like we saw Timmy's, we saw Subway. Like every subdivision had, or cul-de-sac type subdivision, or every little town or whatever had the same store, same layout, same restaurant, same store. It was just like a made-up franchise town, right? Yeah, like I say, I miss the Caribbean. Like I say, I'm going back. But I did a video about a few months back ago. Um, Gold treasures found on Punta Cana beaches. I found a really killer gold cross, just a beautiful cross. If you see, it's about 2.5 inches, or maybe more, 3 inches by about 2 inches wide, and it's I had a few guys look at it and figure it's probably 1860s. It's about 1900. It's got a lot of filigree type of craftsmanship there. It's like a 14 karat Russian cross. Just a beautiful, real treasure. Best gold item I found so far. If you see my video, you'll see it in there. Hmm. Oh yeah, well, like I say, gold's around the corner. You'll find gold sooner or later. You'll find it. I mean, I've watched your videos. I mean, I'm not sure how much time you're doing your videos, but like say, sometimes you gotta swing that detector for 4 or 5 hours and just dig every little piece of trash. And sooner or later, you'll get your gold. And you get your first, the fifth, the 10th, and 15th, and you get so many of these golds, you'll be just like, wow, where did they come from after, right? I think getting yourself that good metal detector, working at slope, and working a surf and a slope, working after storms, any rough sea. Whenever the sea is rough, that's when the stuff gets found. A calm sea that doesn't change, you're looking for fresh drops. But anything that's rough and the action of surf, you're gonna do really good. And go to your local like soccer fields or playgrounds, anywhere people go and play sports, any park, you're gonna find the gold. There's stuff everywhere. Believe me. We go out with our crew every weekend, and every weekend the guys are finding gold. One guy finds gold, next guy finds nothing, next guy finds gold. It's like your turn, my time, their time, right? It's just swing that detector. You're gonna find you'll find rings that fit your fingers, and then you'll be giving stuff to your girlfriend, and you'll be selling rings to make spare money, buying detectors. You know how it is. It's like you'll do good. Just gotta spend that time. It's a great hobby, very well rewarding. Like I say, I've been doing this thing for basically over 35 years. I started like basically when I was yeah, like I say, I've been doing this for over 35 years. I started basically with a cheap Radio Shack detector, and what I did is, there's no ground balance, so every time I swang it higher the coil, it had to tune it. I had to tune it for when it was level. I tuned when it ground changed in elevation. I had to retune it. But I was picking up stuff at 4, 5, 6 inches. I mean, I found like hundreds of coins, and that was a cheap detector. I lived near a grocery store near my house, and like I say, I just detected the hell of it, and I found so many coins. I found silver coins and 40s, pennies. It was great. So that kind of got me in the hobby. And then over time, I got married and got kids and all that. And since kids are about 5 years old, that we did serious detecting. I went to join the clubs and all that, and went on trips and holidays. And now the kids are big and stuff. They don't care about detecting. But no, you just get out there and like you'll be very impressed, right? Like I say, get yourself a small, like really small shovel, not too big, because you know what you should order if you could get one. It's called the Samson. Samson. It's like a T handle. I'm not sure the brand, but it's a Samson T handle. It looks like a small spade with about maybe a foot and a half handle on there. So it's very tiny. All you do is when you get a harder ground, use your foot, and then you make yourself a half circle. I don't know. Your soil is different than our soil, but I know you have that kind of tropical grass, right? Hey, nice to see you there, Chris from the Ring Finders. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Finally figured this thing out. But like I mentioned, what you really got to do is get yourself, you know, a small type shovel. If it's really tight, weedy grass, cut yourself a half circle. Never cut a plug because the plug will dye the grass. You dig a nice half circle, hinge it back, and also have you like a leshy hand trowel. You have a bigger one and a small one. Don't get a too wide of a shovel, because if your shovel's too wide, what will happen is they're gonna kick you out of parks. They're gonna see a shovel, they're gonna say get out of there. Get something very tiny, even a good hand digger, like right for the start of it. But like here, if I'm in the bush in the forest, I'm taking like the Samson T-handle shovel, which works good. But I would never take a long handled, like a digging shovel. It's impossible. no matter where you go, you get kicked out, right? So advice is to get yourself the smallest shovel you can, but a good one that's like a stainless steel with a good strong handle, because you get a junk tool, it just doesn't work, it breaks on you, and your hobby's frustrated, you know, if you know what I mean. So hey, Chris, did you get your video on there? So I don't understand why we got live streaming here. It would be nice if we could have everybody's live streaming. I could have a picture and a voice and all that. Chris says hi. Alex says hi to you. And Chris just got his video on there. If you want to see his video, Chris has got a really good video on. You'll see he dug all his trash and see what treasures he found between all his trash. It's a pretty good video they put up. I'm looking forward to see that, Chris. That'd be awesome. Oh yeah, you'll be in a treat there, Alex. I know Chris. He was in California, did a road trip, business trip, and he did have time to do a little bit of texting. And it's amazing what's out there. You just got to spend the time. I mean, the stuff is there. There's a lot of trash, but once that trash is gone, I mean, you never know, because ideally, any metal detector, what it does, if you're digging in a trash location, your metal detector is designed to 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 detect the loudest target or the closest targeted search coil. You could see, funny thing is, you could detect two targets 6 inches apart. The highest, or the shallowest target is the one you'll detect before you dig the deep target. So you got to dig that shallow target. It could be trash, and all of a sudden you go back and hole 2 feet, 2 3 inches away. You got a gold ring or a really good target. So you have to do it. It's like Chris says, it's a game of inches. If you don't go and detect every square inch, dig all your trash. I mean, you can't. You got to draw a limit on your trash, right? You set your discriminator to a small amount. Listen to every target with your MX Sport, um, Alex. With the MX Sport, when you listen to that, it has multiple tones. My advice would say set it to about 4 tones, 4 or 5 tones. Don't go too many multiple tones, will drive you crazy. It sounds like you're making music. I find 3 or 4 tones is ideal with the MX Sport. You'll know what I mean when you get used to it. Uh, Use it at factory settings at first, then customize your program. But don't have too many tones, because it will drive you crazy. 3 or 4 recognizable tones. You need an iron grunt, a mid tone, medium tone, a high tone. These are your, like a 3 to 4 tones is works good. Yeah, like Chris was saying, he did it and he did find gold. So I mean, um, like I say, I did the beach the other day. I did that video. I don't know if you've seen it, Alex, but I had a whole pouch full of trash on one beach. I pulled over $30 out of one beach, and I had my pants is falling down. Believe it or not, I had $30 in change. My pants is almost falling down, and I had so much garbage. I had to take a picture of it, and I still had half that amount of garbage not in a picture at the end of the day. So like, it shows you. I mean, I had to dig probably like 10 pounds of trash to get. Well, I did good. I did $45 in change. I got a cell phone, earrings, and a few things. But hey, it's there, right? So hey, Chris, your opinion? How's the audio picture? What are you seeing there? Oh, yeah, that was good. No, I'm asking the picture quality of this video, the live streaming right now. How is the audio, and how is the picture quality? What are you seeing? Fantastic. You stud. Okay, buddy. Yeah, I'm trying. I have to put my shirt on here. My Canadian treasure hunter shirt on. I have to look good, right? See, the funny thing is with this camera, everything's backwards. If I think my logo's on this side, my logo's on this side. Like, it's really weird. And then there's a 5-second delay, so everything I do is 5 seconds delayed. See, I don't know where my logo is. This is a weird setup here. I don't know why it's not like real time for some reason. I got 5-second delay here. It's like looking in a mirror, right? Everything's backwards, right? I guess, but it's working. I mean, I think over time when I get my templates done, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna have contests on here, give stuff to people. Like, half the stuff I don't want, I don't need it. Even if I sold, it's not worth much, but to someone else, they'll enjoy it. So it's gonna work awesome. Oh yeah, I know Chris. Chris is a good buddy of mine. He's one of the founders of the Ring Finders metal detecting service. He's found hundreds of rings. His members found hundreds of rings. That Chris Turner is an awesome guy. I've known him for at least, I'd say, 10 years or more. I've seen him on a news hour before I even met him. He's doing interviews on there about the ring finders. So awesome guy. You should see his videos and his recoveries. Just a super good guy. Yeah, you just type in theringfinders.com, and then he'll have a website showing all the rings he recovered. I don't know how many millions of dollars of rings their site members recovered, but it's just a incredible amount. I actually did a couple of recoveries for Chris when he was out of town, and he gave me a hand there. And like I say, we do our best and help. I did a awesome recovery when I was in the Okanagan. I had an Alberta guy come to me and says, "Hey, I lost a titanium ring. Can you help it for my brother?" And I said, "Oh, sure." End up finding it. Ended up being a honker gold, probably 12-gram ring, white gold, and the guy didn't know what he even had. So I suggested, put your name in it. Know what you have, describe your items. Otherwise, I find rings. I have people say, "Hey, can you find my ring?" And I'm say, "Okay, what is it?" They tell me, "Oh, it had red stones." I find a ring red and diamond. Like, I find rubies and diamonds. How do I know it's theirs? So yeah, Chris just was mentioned here, over $6 million in lost ring recoveries. Wow, that's incredible! Great service, Chris, and you're doing awesome there for this service, finding those rings. Great. Yeah, like I say, tourists, they lose a lot of things, but Chris is, like I say, their company is getting out there, and a lot of people know about it now, and it's helping a lot of people unite their rings. Like, I mean, I find so many rings, and they're wedding bands. There's no names. I mean, what do I do? I can't keep these things. I can't keep them forever, so I have to scrap these memories, right? But I have no choice. It's just a matter of, our hobbies are expensive, your machines are expensive, but if I find a ring that has sentimental information in there, it's I'll give a good time to try to find the owner. If it's not there, you can't find the owner. Well, that's how it's going to be. But ideally, one day someone might say, hey, I lost this. It had this information. Um, okay, Chris. Hey, great, Chris. Good night. Thanks for coming, joining the stream here. I'm glad. Exactly, like he was saying, honeymooners. Yeah, honeymooners go in there, and they don't have the rings fitted. They go for a swim. A lot of times, the his and hers rings are lost. Believe it or not, you matching pairs. And in women dispute, they have arguments. They get married, they argument, they throw the rings away. It happens all the time. Yeah, Chris said goodbye to you. I'm Chris. I think everybody makes a comment here. We'll see exactly what's going on here. So awesome. Thanks. I'm gonna go look at your new video on your trash video. That's gonna be awesome. And what treasures you found between all that trash. Can't wait to see that. That's cool. So yeah. So Alex says cheers to you, ring finder. All the best. Okay, guys. I'm gonna. I think there's someone else here that showed up here. 4 people showing here, but I don't see many comments by other people, but if there's any other comments, people want to mention a few things, ask about things. Hey, Chris, anytime. You're the best. Really cool guy. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. And like you say, we got to get this get out there and do some hunting there. Like I say, too bad I couldn't hit the California that time you were there. Just like I say, it was too bad. It would have been awesome. Two good detector guys detecting. It would be awesome. But like I say, gonna do that. Hopefully, I'm looking at a couple weeks. I want to do Cali, go to Cali there. So if that works out, a couple weeks. But the wife, she says, yeah, soon. Yeah, like I say, soon. The wife said, yeah. Well, she wants to hit a hotel every 4 days. Well, I'm in a motorhome, Class C, 25-foot motorhome. Why do I want to get a hotel? Like, who wants to spend? But if I got to do it, I'll do it. It's what it takes to keep the wife happy, right? But like I say, it's a great hobby. Alex, you'll be when you get a good machine and you're finding stuff, and what you could do is you're in Antigua, right? You're in a really good location. Probably a lot of lost rings are happening there. You might want to look into being a member of the Ring Finder also. Especially people may call you off the directory. It's a good service. You might be interested in doing that down the road as you get more familiar with detecting. Um, but like I say, when you get in there and find your first gold, I'll tell you, it's just like you'll never know. You'll scoop a bunch of trash. You'll see this big honking shiny gold ring, and you're gonna think, well, where did it come from? How did it get there? How did I miss this? I hunted this beach a million times. Where did it come from? It's a matter of the patience, right? Yeah, just check on the website and get the information. And there might be a possible member on that island too right now. We don't know, but you look at a directory, you might see something. But and like I say, if you get into diving, you're in a paradise. I'll tell you. I mean, the stuff that you can find on Paradise. I mean, the amount of tourists that flock there and people and like that's why I go to the Dominican Republic. You go there, it's a lot of wealthy Russians go there. You have wealthy tourists go there from Europeans, and everybody's got gold. I mean, I watch these people. They got Rolex watches. They got gold bracelets that are like 30, 40 grams of 18 karat gold. They got beautiful necklaces, like big chains, not necklaces, they're chains with big gold pendants, gold coins. I'll tell you, and then ring on every finger basically, and they're in the water. So you add all those people in the water, they lose stuff. People do lose stuff. I mean, so it's a matter of being lucky, getting a really good cut, working the storms. You're in paradise. I mean, I wish you could live in a place like that. It'd be awesome. And if, like you say, if the cruise ships go there, you got a beach that's going to pay. It's going to do really good. Have you met any guys water hunting that are locals on your island? Yeah, I know cruise ships sometimes they come four at a time. I'm not sure how the docks are. I know in the Bahamas they get four cruise ships coming in there, and well, actually they go to the Fantasy Island. Is it Fantasy Island or what's that one? No, it's not Fantasy Island. It's one of the island, like it's that fancy resort there, and then they have two places cruise ships go to in the Bahamas. And I worked the one area on a storm, and I'll tell you, there was so much stuff. I hit a nor'easter storm. It came from I was at the Treasure Coast, flew to Bahamas for a week and a half, and the storm followed me. And I'll tell you, I was getting 7, 8 foot waves. There was cuts and everywhere. Couldn't work the cuts. I had to stay away from the cuts. It was too dangerous. Um, and like I say, I got so much cool stuff. I got gold rings and silver necklaces, charms. It was just like the stuff's out there. It's a matter of twisting currents, cuts in the ocean. So you haven't seen anybody local. I know Cayman Islands. There's one guy. He's on there all the time. He's on YouTube a lot. No, I don't think you're the only one that hunts there. I'm sure there's tourists that come in there at the hotels hunting. But I mean, you being a local guy, you have the history behind you. You can do the research. You have a ton of history. You have colonial pirate history, and you know, everything there. Like everywhere there is the history there, right? So it's just a matter of getting there and do your history and just detect every possible location. Like you only need about an hour to test the location. If it's no good, it's no good. If you're getting older artifacts, musket balls, especially if you get lots of musket balls and colonial type belt buckles and anything that's early to colonial, you gotta work the area. The stuff is there, gonna be there, has to be there, right? And like I say, random, working randomly, yeah, you work, figure out these sites you want to work. I'm sure your island, you get a beach, the whole island's a beach basically, just work all around. You work around these sites all around. Tourist beaches are good for tourist gold, but in my eyes, when I go to a tourist beach, especially like Dominican Republic or Bahamas or, hopefully more locations, I'm thinking maybe Spanish gold, treasure, pieces eight, doubloons. Like no one knows the history's there. Like I say, you get a storm and there's an unknown a pirate ship that sank, it had treasure in there, and it gets spit to the shore, right? It's possible. I know when I was in the Bahamas, a lady told me that they were walking a beach one time and there was thousands of coins in clumps on the shoreline in the ocean, and it came from a storm. And I asked her, "Did you get any coins?" She says, "No, they just looked like they were all rusty and old." I'm thinking, tell you, these were silver coins. They were clumps of silver coins, which the lady didn't even realize. She knew nothing about coins. And silver that's in the ocean, that's been around for 200-300 years, it's going to look like a black corroded disc, and Spanish coins are hammered, right? They're hammered. They're off. They're not circles. They're off squares. So this could have been real treasure that was sitting there that no one knew about. And she just left. And I said, "Where was it?" She said, "Well, that was years ago. There's nothing. It disappeared. It's not there no more." You say, like you say, just tarnished. Well, they don't tarnish. You'll get a tarnished coin for 50s, right? 40s, 50s. They in salt water, you get a heavy black corrosion. You're gonna get, like, I went to the Treasure Coast. That's where all the 1715 fleet crashed, and there was like 7 ships that sank in a big hurricane. I went to that Treasure Coast, and I picked up every piece of clumped, rusty type. I had this looked like a big spike. It was just rusty, looked like a railway spike, but there's treasures that are, they're encrusted so bad with corrosion, sea life. You have to inspect everything. If you get a clumpy round thing, it comes out of the ocean. It could be encrusted gold ring that has coral and it has corrosion. You have to inspect everything. Where you are, just inspect everything. Nothing's going to come out tarnished. It's going to come out black and cruddy, and it's going to be 2 or 3 times the size of what the actual size is, just because the corrosion, the acid or the saltwater effects that get into that coin. You won't recognize the coin. You could have a piece of eight. You may recognize the shape, right? Depends, right? If it's been there for 1600s, I mean, it's going to be unrecognizable. So you're going to have to do electrolysis on it. You're going to use a battery or a battery charger and salt water with a couple electrodes. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to clean these things, right? Exactly. Like you're saying, you found a silver ring and you almost threw it away. That's exactly what you're saying. It was probably really tarnished and old. And don't be discouraged. You're going to get rings that are 10 karat, 14 karat, and they're going to be corroded. They're going to be so corroded you think they're junk. Even 9 karat, 10 karat, 12, 14 karat, they're going to look like they're tarnished and junk. I went to Mexico. I hit a cut in Mexico. This was back about 5 years ago. I got 16 gold rings. I had 8 gold rings that I thought they were junk. Some were marked. I said, "This can't be gold. This is Mexico. This is all garbage." I thought, just plated stuff. A lot of fake stuff there. So in actual fact is they were so corroded, they were in the salt water for probably 20, 30 years. So what I had to do, I used electrolysis on some of them. I threw actually nitric acid on some of them to clean the corrosion off. But I thought I had 5, 6 gold rings. I had 12 gold rings. And you know what? I even found one in Dominican 2 years ago, and the guy gave me a comment, that's fake, that's fake, that's fake. You know what? It was 9 carat. I said, well, it's 9 carat. It's English Hallmark. They said, well, yeah, it's fake. But no, I took it to a jewelry recycler, and he paid me for 9 carat gold. It was gold. And I'm thinking today it had a green stone. I should have maybe kept it. It could have been a low quality jade or something. But you know what? It was one of those rings. It was 9 carat. It was probably like 40% gold. And too much copper, and it kept leaching out of. So what happens is, if your ring is 40% gold and the rest is copper and nickel or who knows what, so when it's in a salt water, those copper will leach out of the gold. That's why you'll see the green corrosion. The, and it's also brittle because the interior base metals are dissolving. So that ring you may find, you'll get in your hand, and all of a sudden it will fall apart in a million pieces. So it's really amazing. Like, um, yeah, no, like I say, if you have 14 karat in salt water, can tarnish. You can still get corrosion. 18 karat and 22 karat, 24 karat, you'll probably be perfectly perfect, like the day was lost, right? But when you get to low carat, anything 14 or under, that's got lots of different compositions of metals in there. Like I say, you'll get a ring, be really corroded, and you'll touch it or you hold it, it will break in your hand. It'll break in 4 or 5 pieces. It's just amazing what will happen. These rings, they're just crap. You know, the older the ring is, the longer it's been in the water, they just fall apart. Or you'll see a ring, and exactly where it's sized, the jeweler used lower carat gold, and it broke right where the size is. Because the solder they use is not a 18 karat solder. It might only be like a 12 karat or 10 karat. So they may have cheated a bit, or maybe it was a cold joint, right? So to learn the ocean, it's a different ball game. I'll tell you, it took me about 5 years before I really 4 or 5 years in the ocean before I really was really good at the ocean. Like, it took a lot of time, but like when you get in the ocean and you work it, I'll tell you, it's amazing. Well, you know, gold, like I say, you're asking if they're sometimes stamped. Well, gold is usually stamped. Sometimes a maker's mark. English gold is hallmarked. Mainly has hallmarks. In Australia, our gold is in carats. In European countries, maybe Australia might say 750 is 18 carat. 585 will be like 14 carat. So the mark the difference. If you find a ring that says 585, it's 14 carat, or it could say 14 karat, but if it says 585, it's 14 karat. It's giving a 58.5% as gold. And 18 karat is 75% gold, so they say 750. But you'll find gold rings, especially very old gold rings, that never been marked. If you get rings from Spanish rings from the Spanish fleet, they're not marked. A lot of them are just gold. They're handmade, hand forged, they're unmarked. So what you do is you have to do an acid test. You'll rub it on a stone, and you'll use different gold carats. You might have a 10 carat acid. So what will happen is, if you put a scratch on a stone, if it's 10 carats, the 10 carat won't dissolve it. If you put 14 carat on a 10 carat gold ring, that will dissolve. So you kind of check your acids, right? But you got to be careful, because what the guys are doing is they were taking stainless steel chains, and they were triple plating with the gold, and they were saying it's 18 karat or 22 karat. They were cheating, and when he did a scratch test, it didn't dissolve because it was heavily plated and was stainless steel. See, stainless steel, um, you can't kill stainless steel with acid, right? That's why it's acid resistant, right? So you have to be careful that way. But no, most gold, it will be marked, unless it is custom made, where it was resized and the mark was never put back. But Well, you say some places they didn't mark, like your rings weren't marked. Well, like I say, if they're not marked, I mean, see, that's the only thing is if they don't mark it by law and they say it's gold, you cannot go after them. But if it's marked as gold, then you could go and say, look, your ring said it was 24 karat, it's marked here and it was falsely not marked. So it's kind of most things, like I say, are marked. Maybe your jeweler never marked it. You could have told him, hey, can you put the carat mark on that gold, right? Maybe just because it was custom ring, he didn't bother. But if it was a commercially made ring, they would put the mark and the maker's mark just because it shows a more assurance that's a real item, a real gold item, not a junker, right? But yeah, like I said, get yourself a testing kit. They're like $15, $20. You're cheap. Um, Only just be careful when you have a testing kit. It's real acid, right? So what happens is if the containers aren't sealed properly, they'll actually they'll wreck good items because the acid goes airborne and will wreck. It will oxidize or rust materials next to it. So if you do get an acid testing kit, put it in a glass bottle with a lid so that it doesn't, if it starts evaporating or starts leaking, it doesn't leach out. Because I made a mistake. I had a when I do my metal detecting club meeting, I bring a scale, I bring a diamond tester, and I had acid in a like a plastic bag, double bagged, and the fumes came out and it killed my diamond tester from the acid. So I learned my mistake. It was worth about $200 diamond tester. So what you do is take my advice, put it in either a plastic container or a glass container. Like keep it in its factory container, but double seal it in a good sealable container, not a plastic, but an airtight container. That'll be the best. Yeah, just because, like I say, the acids are very corrosive, and if you have sensitive stuff with it, like I was storing I had a scale. The scale was fine. It was just my diamond tester broke down, and the only conclusion was it was the acid because I had something else in there was rusting, so the fumes got out, and it did cause damage to other stuff. But yeah, so now I'm looking forward. Yeah, you getting there, hunting there, and getting this some cool stuff there because I know you'll do awesome there. Oh yeah, so your friend is he like a longtime metal detector hunter or metal detectorist hunter? Or has he been doing it for quite a while, or is he fairly a new guy? Because the more experience, I can say, especially in saltwater, it takes a lot to get used to. Because I know it took me quite a while to do the saltwater. I mean, there's a lot of books on also retiring, so that's good. That's great. They could get in the hobby and really do it. But yeah, like say, well, if he gets a place there, that'd be awesome there. But ideally, he dedicate time, and when you got a buddy doing it, it's more exciting because you kind of sharing the finds. You find a find, he's excited. Vice versa. You're both covering a large area. It's like I say, I go out with the 4 or 5 guys. We go hunting, we go ballparks, we go foresty areas, and my buddy finds gold and rings, and I find rings. Like he finds rings. Like I mean, it's your turn, my turn. It's like that, and you can't always be the great hunter, right? You could be, just a newbie, and boom, you went over this gold ring, and he didn't see it, or he went over that area and didn't find it. Doesn't mean he doesn't know what he's doing. It's just that's how it is. He may just turn one way to look at something, and all of a sudden, his foot tripped, or it's just like that. But ideal thing is when you swing your detector, overlap the coil, like do half a coil at a time. That's exactly what you'll cover the ground tight and slow, right? Oh, you better do that. Get her detecting there. Put a one for Brit's money, if you know what I mean. Right? She can't take all the money here. Or the fame. It's not all about money. It's all about fame, right? But no, no, it's nice to see more women doing it. But I know since she came on video, I've seen a big increase of women doing metal detecting, right? So it kind of encouraged a lot of women to get in there and to do what she's doing. But like I say, you know, it's it's all about the fun of it, right? To me, it's I don't expect to find treasure every time I go. It's nice to find nice stuff, but you're not always going to find stuff. You can hunt for hours and hours. I've hunted for hours. I've hunted Mexico and never found nothing good. And then I hunted one time, hit a cut was so good, I found 30 rings. And then after that, I really learned. Once I understand, the beach, and you can read books, right? But books tell you stuff, but you have to really do it in the ocean. When you see a cut in the ocean, how the waves go, look for dips. That's how you do it. So you always see because like there's a good guy out there from Ontario, that Clive Kleineck there. He's got a lot of books on all the different metal detectors and stuff. He's got a good book. I read a lot of his books, and I thought it was very helpful. But the cuts and diagrams are different than when you actually in true life looking at a beach. I just say if it's got a steep slope, work that slope, work between the waves, work it slow, be fast because those waves come fast. So if you get a target, mark your spot. When a wave passes back, stick your scoop in there. If you can't beat the wave, leave your scoop in the hole. Don't pull the scoop out until the wave goes back. Otherwise, that hole will fill up, and your coin may even be deeper. So my trick is, like I say, if I find a good signal, I sit there for a second, let the wave go down behind me, put the scoop in there, and if I have enough time between waves, I pull it up real fast, and then if there's and go over the hole again. If there's nothing there, then I'll throw it in again. Then I'll wait for the wave to pass me again and pull it out. So there's little tricks like that. If you start scooping and the waves hitting you at the same time, well, you're not going to get the target unless it's a simple shallow target. And if you're using a PI or something that's a big machine, that's like a deep machine. Like I'm digging stuff 15 inches down in those surfs, right? So we got Wendell Hose there from E-Trac Beach. Who's this here? What's your comment there? Yeah, just come say hi. Enjoy. Come and if you have any comments or fill them in. But yeah, like I say, the beach is yeah, like I don't mind. Like I say, I could. A lot of guys are real secretive. Don't say this. Don't say that. Don't say that. You know what? To me, my opinion is, you it's all about fun. It's a hobby, right? Some people get really greedy in this business and won't tell you nothing, won't want to hunt with you. If you find a ring, they won't be your buddy. It's like you stole their ring. To me, if you find something, or if I can give you advice, you give me advice. It's just a super super nice hobby. Have I ever tried E-Trac? You know what? E-Trac is an awesome machine. I've used the E-Trac for about 4 years. No good for Canadian money. So if you have it in Canada, it's good for copper and silver. It's fairly deep. It's a good machine. But if you're in the United States, if I was in the United States, my money was American type money. It was all copper based money. I would not leave my E-Trac. My E-Trac is my best machine. But since toonies and loonies and quarters, they add up. If you're doing a soccer field and you're digging $20 and change, if I run a soccer field and use an E-Trac, I'm lucky to take a few pennies out of there and maybe gold if I'm lucky. But when you have a machine that picks up, iron-based coins and gold, to these loonies, they add up. You have to pick them up. I can dig 500-600 bucks a year and change if I use the E-Trac. I'm not. I'm digging older quarters, older dimes, odd toony loony, but I'm not getting the new money. Anything today's money last 5 years old, it's garbage. All magnetic. E-Trac's awesome machine. Yes, I would recommend it to anybody. But if you're in Canada, if you're looking for new money, don't recommend it. But if you're looking for old coins and old relics, anything that's Non-ferrous, perfect, awesome machine. You have an E-Trac, or what do you say about that? So Wendell, where you located from? Are you on this part of the world, or are you on that side of the world? Oh yeah, so you want to try an E-Trac? Well, they're actually born in Australia, so you should be able to pick up a reasonable one cheap. For Australian coins, yes, E-Trac's really good. Um, you'll pick up all those older, yeah. If you're in Australia, just look in Craigslist. E-Trac, I highly recommend it. You'll dig coins down 8, 9, 10 inches, no problem. Very good in salt water. It's good on beaches. I heard it's good. I haven't used it on beaches, but I know people do use it. It's a good machine for beaches. It's good. But the only thing with E-Trac, take my advice, you got to go slow. If it's an iron infested location and there's lots of iron, what happens is E-Trac will null out. When it nulls out, it's desensitizing the machine because there's too many things located too close to the items. So go slow. If it's highly mineralized ground, it's a little bit hard to work, but long as you hear a threshold when you're swinging the coil, you're doing good. When a threshold disappears, that means you're getting iron, and so you have to slow down even slower. But you'll dig all those Australian kangaroo coins and all the large cents and all that pre-decimal stuff. So just definitely try to E-Trac, check your Craigslist, check your whatever, check the local clubs, put your name out there, say I'm looking for E-Trac. You'll probably have to pay for a used one, probably around $800, I would think, Australian dollars, 800 Canadian. Like they're getting a little bit older right now. I know they're about 1,500 when it came out, but a good used one, expect to pay $800, I would think. Canadian or Australian still works the same. Yeah, I never heard about those mutated sea lice there. Never heard of. Where was that? Where was that? Near death, huh? I don't know. I heard of the bacteria in that warm Florida water was eating people's legs. Flesh-eating bugs were coming out eating people's legs. I don't know if that you're talking about that stuff, or I never heard about lice yet. Yeah, well, I heard of those. You gotta care for those box jellyfish there in Australia. They're size of a nickel. You get stung by one of those, you're almost guaranteed to die. Your heart rate goes ballistic. Your blood pressure goes to the roof. Box jellyfish. That's the ones I heard. Australia. That's the damn ones. Yeah. You know what? That's no one knows what's in that ice. Like you say. I mean, uh, I heard a story. This guy wanted to drag like a 100-ton iceberg and wanted to drag it to California and use it for drinking water. But like you say, there's probably trapped bacterias in these ices. There could who knows what bugs. Same with when you're going to up in space and collecting samples of who knows what. You're just creating a bacteria fest, right? Unknown parasites that are in there, right? So Wendell, what do you have for detector right now? Are you a newbie, or are you just Have you had what is your best machine? What are you finding down there? Yeah, so I'm not sure, but anyways, like I say, yeah, just get out there and just learn that detector. I mean, if it's your first decent detector, the MX Sport, just read the manual really good. Look at all the features, all the controls. Learn the thing. It's like a computer. That's something about whites is there are it has the visual meter, but it's like a computer. If you don't adjust it right, it's not going to work the way you want it to. So you adjust it to what you want to work in. If you want to work in those conditions, if you're doing land, if you're working land, the settings are different for salt water. So you have to preset these things like do your salt mode and customize it. The factory is just a basic guideline. That's for say American soil, American waters. You're in a highly salty beach. There's a lot of salt, probably real more salt than maybe in California, right? So just got to adjust it to the conditions you have, and memorize them on your settings. Same with the land. Um, you might detect something a foot thick, and that setting in California might only go 6 inches deep, right? You know what I'm saying? Everything's different, so adjust it to the way you like it. Go through standard factory settings. If those settings you don't like them, just slightly adjust them a little bit. If you slightly adjust a little bit, you'll learn what it really does. That's what I find when I get a factory setting. Well, what's this do? What's this bias gain? That just play with it a little bit, and then you'll see. Yeah, you can see. You could yes, you can save your settings. What will happen is when you set something that you like, you turn your machine off, it saves those settings. So when you turn it back on, the last settings you used are saved. So that's a good part about that. But if you go to the factory mode all the time, you want to tailor. Like when I went the E-Trac, I would adjust it. The sounds different, the threshold a little bit. Um, tailor to my location. But you'll have to practice that because I know there's a lot of different settings on that machine. Like, I'm not a whiz either on those machines. I find sometimes you're complicated because if you adjust one setting a little bit, it actually affects another setting. So you have to set it out and go to like the forums, like the White's forums. Type in beach settings for the MX Sport, and something will come up. Saltwater settings, something will come up better than the factory setting. So you go in there and just whatever people suggest. You try those settings, right? Right? Because all those factory settings are basic settings. They're basic settings for North America. You're down in the Caribbean, it's a total different ballgame, different location, different type of materials, soils. Like you say, you're going through a lot of coral type materials, right? But yeah, have you heard anything about that new Mind Lab, that new machine come out in September? You mentioned Wendell. Is that what have you heard? What is the machine? Is it a land machine? Is it a water machine? What's the rumor? Like I say, like MindLab's awesome. They're good performance machines, but for some reason in Canada we just don't have. They don't give us the service. We don't get the tech service is not the same as in America. America, everything they get a really good service. Canada, we're limited on the product for some reason. That's why a lot of guys will not sell the Mind Labs in Canada just because the service is difficult. We don't have the customer service like they have down south. But the product, like I say, I have a 3030 also. The 3030 is a good machine. I just don't use it too much because I felt that the way it angles, the screen was harder to see. I felt E-Trac was a really good machine. I felt E-Trac was awesome, but I know 3030 goes deeper. The 3030 goes deeper than E-Trac. 3030's got more features. It goes in the water. Problem is, the first generation 3030s, they had a leaking problem. And I got the first generation, never hit the water, never put in the water. So I'm concerned that if I throw my 3030 in the water and it leaks, I'm SOL. I'm not gonna get any warranty for that, even though it's a machine I never used the water. It might have leaked it from day one. No one knows. But I found with my 3030, I haven't used it. I got 40% on the rechargeable batteries, and both batteries I can't charge no more. There's an error on the two batteries, and they were just sitting for about 2-3 years. So, that's what you do about that, right? It happened to my buddy also, same way. His shows errors too. He can't charge his. So those 3030 batteries, you got to keep charging them every time. If you don't use it or not, you got to keep charging them. Once you start not using them but charging them, the batteries are no good no more. That's the sad part, right? But no, like I say, E-Trac, if you want to buy an E-Trac, I would buy a used one, right? Unless you want to buy a new one. I mean, a new one, like I say, a new one's nice to have because you'll have warranty. No one's played with it. It's never hit water. But I used mine severely. I used it in the rain. I used it everywhere. I found after all the E-Trac, the battery connection was getting a little kind of finicky. I had to slam the battery in there, but um, they are really E-Trac's awesome. I would take the E-Trac before the 3030 just because my preference. But if you want a real deep machine that goes in the water and you want to do the beach, everybody 3030s are shining. Everybody's using them all across East Coast, West Coast, mostly California, mostly Eastern, United States and like North Carolina. Everybody has a 3030, and they're working the surf and they're getting phenomenal results. But if you want to just do land, you want to have a separate machine for the beach, that's fine too. I'd go E-Trac. Um, like I say, I use the White's PI dual field, and I'm telling you that dual field is just awesome. It's just the performance. I was in California about 2 years ago, and I was in the it was a dry sand high up the beach, and it was dry. And I went down 15, 16 inches. I pulled a quarter out, and I thought, wow. I'm thinking, the sound audio was about 8, 9 inch. I thought, I dug forever. Sometimes a fluke, coin falls down. No, I was digging constant quarters at 15 inches. Not one. I dug about 15. I got so tired of digging quarters, I couldn't do it. It was just like 5 scoops just to pull a quarter out over and over. And we're talking about I got a big scoop, big. I was using T-Rex. So the PI, if you set it, my preference for the PI, I set the gain super high, full, and I put the delay off, and I keep the threshold lower than normal. So if you get a bit of falsing, it spikes a little bit. So what you do is, if you hear a slight spike, go back and swing faster. If that spike starts to get louder, it's a good target. If the spike just sounds mellow or nothing, don't dig it. If it starts spiking, it's good, really good. So that's a good for the beach. But PI is an all metal. It's gonna pick up every piece of trash. Anyways, Alex, to your comment there about the rechargeable system there on the 3030. Well, what it is it's probably some software built in that charger that detects some sort of draw or a negative draw or some sort of. It could time out either. You don't know how these things are built. Why are products breaking down just after warranty? Like not one, but many products, right? So I have a feeling I have 30 or 40% on each battery, and it will not charge. It shows an error. Why is that? Why would two be dead? And I told my friend, I said, hey, I can't. He said, I can't charge my own. He's got two too. He can't charge it either. It shows an error. So why would that be? Don't know. And like I say, my feeling is I don't use rechargeable batteries. I use real batteries. I find real batteries, a little more expensive, but you got full voltage, you got full power. Rechargeables usually less the power, the less charging, low lasting, less voltage. I'm trying to say voltage, less voltage, and a staying power. If I get 12 hours on a good alkaline battery, I'm only getting like 5 or 6 on a rechargeable battery, and after a while, you'll find that battery will get less and less power and the voltages keep dropping. Your machine wants maximum voltage. If it wants to see 10 volts, 12 volts, it wants to see that constantly. If you're putting a cheap rechargeable battery in there, it's only seeing 6, 7, 8 volts. It's seeing maybe 80% of what the voltage is ideal for that metal detector. So that's what I do. I just put new batteries in it. That's the best system. I never use rechargeables. Like this from day one. I tried before, and you know what? I had a rechargeable battery. I left it for 3 days. It went dead. So when I want to use that battery, it was useless. So why would I want to waste my time? I put just good batteries in there, and that's it. And if they last for 15 hours, that's good. And if you, just like the PI I was listening to on a forum, right? One guy mentioned, well, I get 30 hours on my PI. Well, you know what? One guy mentioned, okay, well, if you take that battery out and try it into like a camera, it won't even charge the flash. So in actual fact, you're not getting the full power to that PI. Sure, it may sound like it's working, but you may not be in depth what it should be. So they recommend 15 to 20 hours and change every battery. Not don't wait any longer. If say 15 hours, yes, that's what I would do. Hey, Felix. Hey, how are you doing there? My English is terrible. Hey, don't worry. That's fine. My English is not that great either. That's why I do better on talking than I do writing. So that's why I'm streaming here. Nice to see you. I guess I guess it's a little tougher to hunt there in France. Here, there's a lot more obstacles now by law here. Over. You? Yeah, nice to see you guys. But like I say, you get into the right location. It's just like you could. But well, people think, okay, this guy's a really good hunter. I hear that story all the time. That guy's the best. Well, you know what? He's probably a really good hunter, but if you don't have the right conditions, you don't have the right location and the right equipment and the right digging tools. That's your key factor. Location and all above finds your stuff. It's like ask anybody that, right? I mean, I see guys in the West like the Hoover Boys, which I watch them quite often. They're great bunch of guys, but they got tons of history there. They're digging colonials every weekend. For me to dig a coin that's from 1930, that's like pulling teeth out of someone. It's really tough. You don't see it. I mean, you do see it, but you don't see it. You'll see it rarely. But they can dig coins that are 1900s. You know, it's only 19. It's a wheat. Even Indian. Okay, you get excited with the Indian, right? Fine. But when it comes to the super old coins, you just don't get them, huh? We just don't get those coins. It's kind of like that's why I travel a lot. I go everywhere. Like I'm just kind of getting like older in my life. I want to do my traveling. I like the Caribbean. I like the hunting. I like the thrill. I know there's guys out in Vietnam. They call treasure hunters. They're from Russia. They're Russian, and they do super. They find really good items because there's no competition. They've got so good at it. Even this fellow's wife does an awesome. I just saw the last video. They did awesome there. They're finding cool stuff. But what it is, it's location. And if you have a lot of people, a lot of tourists, the stuff it's a good combination. And what I like is the rougher the ocean is, and when people go in a rough ocean, they're losing stuff. Even me, when I went in the ocean, I was meltecting. I was in the Dominican Republic. I was into about just under my waist, and I was just looking down, trying to retrieve something. All of a sudden, a wave came from nowhere, smacked me in the head like just hit me out of nowhere, knocked my sunglasses off. My glasses are lost. So then I'm hunting, lost my glasses. I find a pair of glasses, and a kid goes to me, "That's my glasses. I lost it." Grabbed it on my hands. I'm thinking, how's that possible? Just like that, like what happened right here? And I'm thinking, how could you say that's your glasses in my mind? Because everybody's losing glasses here. I don't know what they could have been Ray-Bans, could be anything, but it shows you, a rough ocean, you're losing stuff. I had guys saying I lost I had a Russian guy come up to me and said, I lost his titanium wedding band. He says it's not worth nothing, but he says it's my wedding band. I'll give you $200 to find it. You know what? I looked so hard trying to find it, could not find it. I tried and tried, but it was 2 hours after the tide came up. So you know for sure it's going to be deeper, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Benelux, yeah, I know what you're saying there. Yeah, my friend was telling me, Chris, he told me they changed law there, and it made it really difficult for recovering historical artifacts, and it just got really bad for you guys. I feel bad for you guys. I mean, that's just gonna create a big black market now. No one's gonna return stuff. People are always gonna detect, no matter what the laws are. People find a way to detect. They'll detect somewhere, so the real historical things will be lost. Like England is good because England, you find historical item, the museums take it, they compensate you, the landowner, so you get something for your time. You find a treasure, you feel good, it goes to a museum, it's going to the right place, but you also get something in return, which is awesome. So being, in France, I know Russia outlawed metal detecting too. I mean, people still do it. I see videos all the time, but it just makes it just a black market. It's going to be it's going to kill the artifact, just like what happened in like with the Aztecs and Mayans and stuff when all those artifacts were looted and stuff and melted down, made it to gold bars. All those historical artifacts are lost. They were never, never. Even the museums, they don't have the artifacts. They had beautiful, beautiful artifacts in gold, just super, super nice. But now these artifacts are looted out of graves, or the Spanish took a lot of it in the old days, in probably 16, 1700s, and he just melted the stuff down to nothing. So all those artifacts are gone. So that's going to happen in your countries or anybody's country, right? Yeah, like I say, talking about getting raped in a wave there. Yeah, I remember I had my sister-in-law. She went in the water and she said, "Oh yeah, I can go swim in the water." And the water was, she got hit by a wave so hard, it basically ripped her clothes off, and she was like scared. She could not believe what happened there. It's weird how that ocean, even if it's a 2 foot wave, when that starts rolling in there, that'll knock you off your feet and roll like a rag doll. It's amazing. And whatever's in your pockets, you could have a nice chain or bracelet. If it's not properly held on or soldered, well, you're gonna lose that for sure. Yeah, but awesome. It sounds good. So at least my chat's working. I'm happy about that. I mean, believe it or not, it took me like frustrating to I did stupid streams of nothing because I couldn't figure it out. My computer was shutting down, and finally got it on there. That's awesome. At least I got few people watching. That's awesome. We got 4 people watching right now. But yeah, like I say, it's nice you guys came out, and it's a little bit late on the stream, but like I'm a night owl anyways here. I'm self-employed, so I'm always up late, either surfing the internet or doing something. But if you guys want any technical questions, hey, if I can help you out, I'll help you out, guys. Just ask questions, and I'll try to answer if I can. Nope, not even. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I say, so you're in Antigua, right? What's the next major island next to you on Alex? Like, what is the major next island next to you? Mhm. Yeah, like I say, you'll have to like when you get really good on it, you probably island hop because I know in the Caribbean there's probably 30 or 40 islands or countries. I guess I don't know. If some are countries, some are islands, but um, Barbuda, huh? Barbuda. Yeah. What you'll have to do is you'll have to when you get really good at it because I know there's a bunch of American guys go to all different islands and they brag about 40 pieces of gold, 50 pieces of gold. They all get gold. They go 4 or 5 guys go there and they all pitch in for a hotel and rented a car and all that. And they're finding those islands. Some are producing really good, but you have the advantage. You're in the Caribbean. So all you have to do is take a 2 hour flight maybe to some of these 2 3 hours. Well, take not even 2 hours. You're talking about a short distance to each island, right? So find out what islands are productive, or and just try go out there. You must get good deals there, and you're in the right location, or you got all the best locations to try, right? Yeah, like I say, it's possible. I might be out that way. I mean, I'm actually looking for a new island to just explore. I like to, when I go to a new island, new country, I'll sit back and I like to see the culture, how the people are, and then like I went to Bahamas. I've been to Bahamas 4 times. I'm not going back. Not that I don't like the country. The people are really nice, really really awesome. I find it just way too expensive. Like last time I went, I had a timeshare for 1 week. I paid for 1 week at a really crappy hotel, not even on the beach. It was like 1,600 US for one room, like a one room type thing, or 1 bedroom, whatever it was. But 1,600 US was ridiculous. And then the problem is when you buy food on Nassau, the food is so expensive. For me, I took the wife out, went to like some, I don't know, some chain type place. For lunch, you spent over 100 American. It's just way too expensive. So to me, it's not the same. When I went there, they had the casino there, and I really enjoyed the old part of that. It was a good area. I enjoyed that, but the casino's gone now. So I just, now, like I say, I'm gonna concentrate somewhere else. Dominican, I'm gonna go this year again. That'll be my third time. But I think yours sounds pretty good. It says 250 US per week. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that's actually really good. How are the people? They're friendly. Is it really nice, or is it a rough? Like some, I hear like sometimes Jamaica, some areas are really bad. But how are the people there? Pretty cool, or? Well, I guess like every island has this, good people, bad people, right? I mean, well, you walk around 3 a.m. That's awesome. Like so you have not a problem. That's good. Like even here, like say we have a lot of problem with people with drugs and stuff, and they're civilized. I mean, they're not gonna beat you up in the middle of the night and rob you, right? Or put a gun in front of you. We don't have that kind of stuff. But I mean, they might get in your face, ask for change. Well, if worst comes to worst, give a guy a buck or two, right? Whatever, get him on your face. But the thing is, I can walk safely everywhere. But I went down to LA one time in the middle of the night. We were downtown, Hard Rock Cafe. I went off a side road and it was like total ghetto. It was like actually frightening. I wouldn't even walk down these streets. It was like everything's boarded up. It had graffiti on every storefront was graffiti with a steel garage door, and people burning fire pits on the side of the sidewalks, and people sleeping everywhere. And it's like I wouldn't walk down there, no way. And then the only car on the road was us. I didn't see anybody on the road except police cars. Not one car in this area. So I went 2 blocks away, had my dinner or lunch or whatever I had, or snack at the Hard Rock Cafe. 2 weeks. I mean, two 2 blocks away. I mean, 2 blocks away, I was in the ghetto, like a really bad ghetto. So it's just weird how these, areas change so fast, right? Okay, Alex, we'll see you in 5 minutes. Awesome, great. But yeah, like I say, well, it feels less. Yeah, well, like I say, it's got pretty bad actually. I hear a lot of shootings. While I'm hearing shootings in my backyard, people here too. But it's gang violence basically, right? But the thing is, I was hearing shootings every other day in Surrey here, like ridiculous shootings in Vancouver and Surrey, and I heard lots in Ontario, same type of problems, right? But it's too bad. I mean, it's what's happening, right? That's why I think they should just legalize, whatever most of the drugs, legalize them, pay tax on them, and control them properly, and then maybe you won't have the violence like we're having or something, right? Something's got to be done. But anyways, yeah, yeah, I am married. Alex, I'm married. I got three kids and a wife. My oldest kid is about 27, turning 27, and I think the other one's around 25, I guess, or something. No, 23 and 22. I got a daughter, so two boys and a daughter, and they're all good kids. They're like one just finished university, bachelor's degree. The other one works in a laboratory doing sampling asbestos, identifying asbestos. And the daughter is learning hairdressing. That's her what she wants to do. So she's doing hairdressing school right now, and she loves it. So they're all good kids, all working. They're all very, very responsible. Yeah, you were married for 20 years, long time. Yeah, I'm right 18 years right now. We just turned 18 years being married, so time goes fast, right? Well, to be honest, I'm actually turning 51 in September, so I'm getting over the hill. That's why I'm planning on all these, like, trying to set up my streaming, my everything, so I could, supplement my hobby as a treasure hunter. So, I'm gonna do full time treasure hunting. That's a matter of I'm gonna end up selling one of my I have a rental property. I'm gonna sell that. When I sell that, then I'm just going treasure hunting full time. I'm going everywhere. I'm born to treasure hunt, basically. I'm not. That's what I'm here for, is to find treasure and lost items. That's my passion, right? Oh yeah. So you're 49. So you're basically similar age. Yeah, I notice most people in this hobby, if you look at the stats, are from 45 to 55 is pretty the hot zone, right? It's an older group, right? But I've always been in the lure of treasure. Even when I was like 5, 6 years old, they would tear a building down, and I'd look at the tailings of the dirt piles when they dug for the footings, and I saw old bottles. So I was always into some sort of the hidden treasure lure. But like to me, like when I do, like I'm a demolition contractor. I do demolition, asbestos, and all that. So I have my own jobs. But when I tear apart an old house by hand, I'm looking for the nooks and crannies. I'm looking for the hiding spots. Like I can tell you a million stories. I found gold coins. I found jewelry. I found all sorts of cool collectibles. I mean, if I wrote a book on what I found and my history and my record of what I've done in my life, I found just nice, beautiful stuff. But a lot of it I never filmed or never. Now I'm filming more, so I have a record of my adventures, right? But eventually, like I say, when I hit these Caribbean locations, do a little more camera work. I mean, I did the Okanagan the other day, or about a couple weeks ago. Can't use a camera. You got like the beaches are so small and the beaches are packed, and you have 60% of kids there and women, and they're all you can't have a camera on there. Forget it. I'm not gonna take a picture of people on there and put on YouTube. So just can't do any filming. It's just impossible. And everywhere you go, you're like bumping into people. Even Melted, like I'll Melted between people. I have no problem with that, but I'm not gonna film. But when I get to like California and the Caribbean, it's such a big area. I do more filming. I do nighttime and stuff. But Dominican, last time I did a lot of filming. I got some good footage. I had hours and hours of video, but I could only use so much. It's just I'm not showing every rod and coin I dug. I mean, jewelry was scarce, but it was just coin after coin after coin, and junk and whatever. But I did find I think I got a gold Russian cross. I got a gold ring that was 14 karat, and I got another ring that had a per dot and a Russian silver cross. So I did good. Last trip I did, the gold cross was the highlight. That was an awesome, very good. Becky's, uh, Becky. I'm not sure who Becky is. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one you're talking about, but the school. But yeah, I did a lot of demos, and I got a lot of my videos. You'll see demolitions on we do a lot of, I do specialized demos, like demos that people don't want to touch, like really kind of, not like, scary or really dangerous. It's just time consuming, stupid jobs that just, they renovated layers and layers of materials, and just no one wants to bid on. You can't bid on it. You don't know what the surprise is. You gotta just charge an hourly rate. That's what I do, is charge an hourly rate, and charge some trucking, whatever. And that's the only way. You can't bid on these jobs. It's impossible because, I did one job. It was like an old rooming house, and it had a commercial basement, all that, and we pulled the floor out. The amount of material I took out, loads and loads. There was restaurants in there and stuff. I mean, no, like I say, we just do the specialized ones. I try to record as much as I can, like try to teach people, because, like, some things, it looks hard. If you've never done it before, you're gonna think, well, hey, how do I do it? When you see my video and you think, wow, was that easy? Well, it takes time to learn the procedures, but once you know how to do something, it's easy, right? It's like, works so good. Becky School Demolition. I have to see that one. Okay, that's good. I'll check that out after the Becky School Demolition. That could be cool. Yeah, I watch demos all the time here. Um, I watch these guys. They're out of New York, and they do like what we do. We get little buildings and stuff, and they use these huge garbage cans and use a garbage truck, and it's interesting what people do on YouTube. It's awesome. I could spend, like, I had a counter on how many videos I watched. It actually streamed out on 10,000 videos. I watched 10,000 videos, and that was probably about a year and a half now. I saw 10,000 videos, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. I could sit for hours and hours, right? But it's how it is. It's just, I find I don't even watch TV much. I'll watch maybe a movie or something, but when it comes to, if I want to learn something about something, I'll look at it and see if it's correct, or see if it helps me in any way. But usually it does. I mean, this is way better than TV. I'll tell you right now. It's enough. And I understand, like, there's a lot of good creators in there creating awesome videos, and they got no views. Like, I'm talking about no views, and their videos are awesome. They got good graphics. They got good close-ups, and good material, but I just don't understand how to make it or beat it, right? It's just, it's amazing what people do, right? You just gotta have the right niche, I guess. Like, I do better in other videos. Like, I did a fear of flying video. I got a 350,000 views. I did fear of flying. I did also stuff on asbestos removal, demolition, just other stuff, like, whatever. And I seem to do way better on other videos than what I normally do. No matter how I do the videos, it just can't seems to get the viewership like some of these other guys do. I don't know what the secret is, but it's tough to get the right niche on getting the big numbers on subscribers, right? So do you even have cable down there? So you haven't watched TV in 15 years. You have cable down there or what? Well, there's probably nothing good on TV anyways, probably. Oh yeah, YouTube censorship. Yeah, it's got, like I say, it's got a lot of. Well, you know what? Um, yeah, sure, censorship, like, it does affect a lot of videos, but I don't know. Do you want a guy bitching and swearing and cussing and is all f this, f that? I mean, I'd rather not see that. I mean, like, when I see even treasure hunters are swearing like crazy, it just, it doesn't do much to me, right? But there's a lot of good content on there that is kind of, you have to watch content, and if you're watching the content, it's interesting, it's exciting, but some people might get offended. But to me, I don't think there should be much censorship, but I think the language should be a little more toned down, right? Just because it's an open viewership to anybody, right? So I wouldn't watch my kids. And you know what I'm seeing, actually, the stupidest things, I'm seeing pornos on YouTube. I'm looking at here, and what the hell is it? It shows, what I don't like, clickbait, when you see a naked broad or some sort of sexual act going on a thumbnail, like stupid crap like that. I'm seeing this nonstop on YouTube. I don't know where it's coming from, but late night, I'm thinking, what is this stuff? I click on, it's a porno. Like, how are they getting away with that type of content? It's ridiculous. So no, but have you noticed any like really nudity? Not like just like I'm seeing like full on hardcore nudity on here, and it comes up sometimes. Like sometimes I'm watching, all of a sudden I see it's a segment here. I'm thinking, what the hell was this crap here? Where did it come from? A lot of times I'll flag something like that, right? I'll flag it, but the thing is, you know, I just yeah, I just don't understand. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have. I'm not like I'm talking about just stupid nudity stuff, right? But like, yeah, sure, it's nice to see a good looking woman detecting. Sure, that's awesome, right? It's cool because it's nice to see women doing getting detecting and stuff and doing the thing, right? But you know, but that's what sells is show. That's what I think sells anyways because people on here, if you see a nude looking broad detecting, they get a million views. You get a girl that's sitting dressed in winter clothes, no views, and has a way better video and a real treasure hunter. You don't get no views. It's weird. It just makes you wonder what people really want to watch, right? I watch YouTube for information, see what people are hunting, what they're finding, I like to know what you're finding on your side of the world. That's what I watched your videos, and I've seen as many as I can. I see basically all your videos just because I want to see. You had Mardi Gras on there, and I find that's cool to see the culture of that island. It's nice to see that stuff, right? Well, that's good for her. She got a good contract for. Wow, that's good for her. Yeah. Well, she deserves it, right? And like I say, that's the good thing is, she looks like a really good, smart girl, anyways. So, but that's good. Good for her. And like I say, hopefully it goes really good and she does really good because, that's what you need is you need the right contacts and that's good. But like, get her in treasure hunting. That's awesome because it keeps it cool. Okay, Benelux, we'll have to watch that video. French time, 2200, 22 hours, 2200 hours French time. We'll have to see that. Yeah, I think she'll do really well. She's like you say, she's a smart looking girl, and like she does good in the video. She's awesome for the video, right? And it works good. And it's the fun part is when someone's filming, right? You're filming, she's filming or whatever. She's helping you film or you're helping film. It's so much easier. You try filming everything and editing everything. It's just there's a lot of work involved. No one understands when I see these guys. Um, that are editing the film. They're filming them themselves. They're laying cameras a block away and they're walking away and they're setting up the camera. I'm telling you, that's a lot of work. That's to me, my limited time is to treasure hunt. So when I have all the time in the world, I'm gonna do that kind of stuff. But for now, I can't. I can't do that kind of stuff. It's impossible. If I have 2 hours of detecting, it's 2 hours of hardcore detecting. I'll detect and film what I can, but every time you have to press the GoPro on, you have to do the video. What I normally do is I'll have a remote control for my GoPro, and what I'll do is I'll locate a good signal first. Then when it looks good, I'll click on play. Then I'll go back and signal it. Then dig the hole. So it's a live dig. Same with my Miltech. When you're water hunting, it's hard to do a live dig. I did so many live digs, but like I say, it was just too much garbage. But I did get a couple gold rings on there, which was happy. Didn't get my cross. I dug the cross. It was dark. It was nighttime, and I could not get. And it was sad because when I saw that cross, it was just like unbelievable. I was just like my mouth was just dropping, and I ran to the shore right away. I was halfway in the kind of the water. Right, it was a rough surf, and I said to myself, "That's unbelievable." And when I took it out, I just could not believe it was the Golden Cross, right? But anyways, you see my Punta Cana video, you'll see the cross, you'll know what I mean. So you're detecting Benelux UK. Oh, you can win UK coin weight. Oh, okay, you can win one. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh yeah. So you've been detecting fourth day now. Okay. So where you detecting? You in France? Or you digging in the UK? Where are you detecting right now? Yeah, you're right. Detecting like Ireland, Scotland, France, UK. Chris Turner is actually detecting UK, and he detected Italy also. He was in France this summer, but if you detect in England, I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. You're gonna get Roman coins, Celtic, Saxon, medieval. You're gonna get everything, 2,000 years plus. It's like I tell you, like that's my dream is going to England and do detecting, but like really detecting, going there for a few months and really detecting, not none of this. Go there for 2 3 days or a week. No, you want to spend time, right, and research a bit. But yeah, Germany, like I say, Germany too, is something fantastic too. But I know Germany, guys, detecting Germania or something. He finds some cool stuff. He found a few medieval rings and so on. But I know some of these countries, like Germany, they got a lot of war artillery shells. They're still alive, hand grenades, and who knows what. But my buddies from Slovenia, he found some really cool stuff. A lot of Nazi type badges. I knew there was that many type of badges. I see like detecting Europe or something, or something. World War detecting it's called. I think the amount of stuff they're finding, the amount of badges and war memorabilia and helmets and live grenades, live bombs. It's just, but you got to remember all those big bombs are live. So you gotta be super careful, right? I mean, people have died just moving them around, right? But yeah, if you get to England or any of those European countries, there's so many like there's like Belgium, you get France, Hungary, Romania, like all those Scandinavian countries. There's a lot of Viking history, a lot of history. If you get in there, and if the laws permit you to detect, I mean, it's unbelievable. I knew one guy. We talked to a coin guy at a coin show, and told me that he goes out and he buys like hordes off, like guys who dig up roads and stuff, and it's just everywhere. He said, he's lucky sometimes he has a chance to buy coins. They're finding like Roman coins and just in the middle of the road, they're digging like I guess a sewer line or something. They're finding hordes. It's amazing the stuff. There's so much treasure buried in the history that goes back so far, right? It'd be awesome if you could do that. So, like you're saying, like in France, I guess there's a lot of Roman coins, artifacts, Celtic coins. Yeah, and a lot of surprises. Yeah, I know for sure. I've seen your videos. You got some really cool stuff there. It's like I say, we just don't have the history here. It's too bad. I mean, if I was in Ontario, it'd be a little bit better. It's a little bit older, or say Eastern New Brunswick or East Coast would be nice too. But Europe, you want to be in Europe. That's where it's been. Um, yeah, like I say, Alex, it's so old there in France. You never know what you'll find. You just never know. Greece, I think Greece, you're not allowed to detect there. Italy, I think you're allowed to detect, but a lot of these places, like I say, you can't detect. It's mostly lots of historical there, but like I say, I think people still do. I would think, but some of the laws are pretty bad. You have to be very careful in some of those, especially European countries. They can throw you in jail. You just don't know what the antiquities laws are, right? But it's best to check them out. But I know people do it. People do it no matter what. Spain is one. Yeah, I know it. Well, like I say, money talks, right? They say money talks, but yeah, like I say, I know someone said in Portugal you can't detect something, but like I don't know. Everybody says one thing. Like even Cuba, they say you can't detect in Cuba, but my buddy's been to Cuba more than one time. He says the guys detect her all the time. He sees them all the time on the beach. So who do you believe? That's the problem. Like that's why I'm not going to Cuba. Not that I don't like Cuba. If I want to go, I'm taking a metal detector. So if I can't take my metal detector, I'm not going. I'm not. To me, it's not a vacation if I can't hunt, right? Yeah, yeah. Well, here it's like to get a driver's license here, they pay like $500 here. That's what it seems like. That's what they were doing. Yeah, so many Asians did that and they got caught, and wondering why there's so many accidents, right? But now you have to, if you don't do things properly, the outcome could be bad, right? Yeah. But yeah, like I say, some of those countries, like they're like, especially those like even like parts of Russia. There's so many. I seen videos. They're hard to see these videos. You got to research. They're not like common videos, but guys are finding in the fields like hordes of big, big Russian silver coins. It just in like farmers' backyards and little fields and stuff. But it must be a lot of untapped areas here. It's just like, I'm talking old. You can go back to 17, 1800s. If I can find silver coins from 1700s, they're cool. They're awesome. Even gold coins, right? I don't. I mean, okay, Roman's nice to get a Roman coin, but after a while, they all look the same, right? I like the medieval ones. Are cool. I think, to be honest, I'd rather find medieval gold coins than Roman coins, just because of my preference, right? Like I have some medieval coins, a couple, not very many. I got a couple from Italy. I got a couple Roman, but I prefer, like I say, medieval because they were awesome looking coins. A lot of them, right? So, so Benelex, what's the best item you found this year? Anything really cool? Any nice gold or any coins? What was your best treasure that caught your eye? Well, you know what? Like say, musket ball is cool. It's a history, man. That, like I say, that's like early weaponry, right? It's like something that I remember every musket ball was loaded single shot with gunpowder. Like it was hand loaded. That's cool, man. That people are, you know, if the history you could come up with with the metal detector, it's amazing. The history's there, and if this metal detector never existed, the history would never be found. Sure, you'd find some somewhere plowed field and rain came out, but no, you're opening, you're actually writing history with some of the finds. You're changing history, right? It's amazing. Like I say, I've hunted a lot here, and it's just in Vancouver, for instance, it goes back to say 1886. To say right, okay, so 1886 had no population. Even turn of century only had didn't have much. So the population started booming around 30s and 40s here. Really started booming. So our majority of our stuff is 30s, 40s, right? 30s, 40s, 50s. It's too bad. But I see in New York, I mean, already they had millions of people. A million people in the turn of the century. Really, I mean, they had so many people. So it's amazing. That's why you have to travel. You never find treasure in your own backyard. You have to go and find it, right? That's why I think if I go treasure hunting, Caribbean or anywhere, right, I'm gonna get lucky, right? Just gotta try. Yeah, yeah. Looks like there's only 4 people streaming here, so I don't not many comments, but it's getting pretty late here. I want to see that the Ring Finders video, Chris Turner's. I want to check out a couple other things there, but it's been awesome, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys coming and listening to my stream and chatting. I mean, it's great. Like I say, just get the machine in there. Just when you get it all set up, I'll be looking forward to see your videos. Just be awesome. And if you have any comments on any type of anything, just email me, text me, whatever. No problem. I mean, I know, like I say, you'll have to find the settings of the MX Sport and the saltwater because I'm not sure the settings. But for land, like I say, using on land, you'll be very happy. It's an awesome machine, so you'll be very happy. So, anyways, I'm gonna probably quit the streaming here for now. So, hey, I want to say good night to everybody. Thanks again. Thanks for everybody chatting with me, and we'll look forward to do this again. Hopefully, I can get a bigger audience and get more questions and get more answers out there, and just talk to people, and hopefully, I can educate who I can, and it's always cool. Okay, awesome, man. Thanks again, Alex. You take care. Say hi to Wilma for me, and good luck on her new adventure. All the best, guys. Have a good night. We're going to cut our streaming off. Great, guys. Thanks very much. Okay, Benelex, also you take care. Thanks again, and all the best. Good luck on your hunting. Bye-bye, and good luck, guys. All the best. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all my views there.